Hey everyone, Dan the Card Man back again, and it's almost deja vu, right? You've seen my last two videos, commentary on PSA and then also HGA with some of the issues they had. One with fake cards being HGA, and then the second being PSA with the incorrect label being placed on a Charizard, which is a really concerning thing considering it was missed, and then it was also a PSA 10, so it's a lot of money potentially at stake, right? So as you can see by the video title, we've actually got another issue now. So 3 in 3 days, with this one now being related to BGS and Probstein, who is the auction house. And this one's really concerning. So if you follow card porn, and I know I've mentioned these guys a few times on my videos, like they do really, really good content, and I call them out a lot. So I don't want to be turning into someone who just rehashes the content they're giving. But there's a few things in here that I think are worth mentioning, worth calling out. And like I was trying to say, if you do follow card porn, you would have seen that a while ago there was, I'm just looking at it now, sorry, there's a Michael Jordan Skybox Thunder Rave insert from 1998, 1999. So this was something they raised probably like 2 months ago, maybe it's less, like I'll read the post to you guys in a second, but basically somebody was on eBay, the card came up, they raised it with cardboard saying, I think this is a fake card. Card porn looked into it and like, yes, it is a fake card. They reached out to Probstein, who took the auction down, sent the card off to BGS, and then that was basically sort of where it got left, right? So until now, that's sort of where we were waiting, right? And then basically they've done another post and said, well, actually, the card's back up and listed on eBay. It's been confirmed to be real by BGS, which is really, really strange. BGS is obviously not replying to Cardporn because it's not what they do, right? So Cardporn have reached out to Probstein, and Probstein have been like, no, guys, they've told us it's real, it's real. It gets pretty interesting because a few of the comments on Cardporn's page basically speak about how, well, you guys seem like haters. If Probstein's saying it's real and BGS is saying it's real, like, who are you to say it's fake? Why can you tell it's fake? It's really interesting because there's a person who's now the pinned comment on the post who is an expert when it comes to these cards, and he's quite popular in the community. Like, I'm not too big on like vintage cards, or well, not vintage for us, right? Like, these are not really vintage cards. Vintage cards would be 50s, 60s. But I'm not too big on junk wax from the 90s. So I can't comment on how well known this guy is, but just speaking to mates and seeing the response online, he seems to be really, really knowledgeable. So people are taking his word as gospel. And if he's saying it's fake based on the images he's seen, I think we're pretty comfortable it's fake. So there's a few interesting points here. Like, one, concerning that BGS are saying it's authentic when it's apparently not. And the fact that Probstein is being so adamant about it. So the concern here is that somebody could get this card, purchase this card off eBay, and eventually own a fake card. Now, it's a bit of a play there. If you think it's fake, BGS are going to pay you back your money, whatever you pay, right? But it defeats the purpose, right? So if I quickly go to that, so here's the page now. So what do you do when, like their post says, what do you do when the so-called experts get it wrong? So I'll read some of the posts. I know when it's on the phone, you probably can't see all these text, so I'll do my best to read it for you. Like I just noticed from the videos I did the other day, and I'm going to try and keep this under 8 minutes, so please bear with me. I like to ramble, you guys know that. So basically, and I should have mentioned this, Cardporn called out at the time when they first made this post and raised it as a concern that basically this is a known fake to come from Taiwan. There was a huge influx of them, as they say, around 2012. I was going to say 2022, 2012. And they got pushed through to PSA BGS. And what happened was at the time, because these kinds of fakes were a bit unknown and a bit new to the industry, some of those got graded. So they made some mistakes, right? And this goes to the HGA video where when the fakes first came up for HGA, Cardporn cut them a little bit of slack because they were like, it's happened to PSA and BGS in the past, but the fact that it happened to you guys with a known fake is what's really concerning, and that's why the whole HGA thing is a bit, like I said, concerning. So it happened at a time when they weren't expecting it. They sort of went through, got the cards back, paid the people. Like, if you don't know what PSA and BGS do is, and HGA now, and I'm sure SGC does it as well, if they determined that a fake card has been graded, or there's an issue with the card, they have a policy in place to buy it back off of you and market value, even though it's fake. They'll buy it back as if it was real, and they basically destroy the card. Right? So that's what they did. Now, they go on to say they incorrectly graded several in the past. There's still some floating around in the market, which is concerning, which is probably one of these, right? This one's numbered 92, and they're pretty confident it comes from Taiwan. They talk about, here's a dilemma. They basically say, we've reached out to Probstein, telling them the car was fake. They were sent back to BGS on behalf of the owner. Basically, BGS is saying it's perfectly fine. So now Propstin's saying, well, no, we're still going to sell it because BGS is saying it's fine. So Card Porn was like, okay, well, we know it's fake. We've spoken to the owner. We've spoken to pretty senior, or not experts in the field, not senior, I should say. And they're saying it's fake. So they're trying to like proactively get attention with these people, right? They've reached out to, I think, even the CEO of Propstin, the owner, I guess, is Rick Propstin. Is that what he is? The owner or director, whatever you want to call it. And basically, they're saying it's real. And they also mention here that they've sent the photos and, give me 1 second, sorry, what they suggested to the owner. There's another point I forgot to mention. I'm getting confused now. What Card Porn have said, and sorry if my dogs are barking in the background, you can hear it. There's a really bad thunderstorm in Sydney right now. But basically what happened was, I said they were in dialogue with the owner, right? Trying to work out what to do. So they had lots of back and forth with the owner, I think from the get-go. And they talk to the owner on a weekly basis. I think they say somewhere in here, because they're talking about advice on like identifying fake cards. So the owner appears to be someone that basically should be aware, or is in the know, I should say, in the know, and that he would know if he's doing something wrong, right? So basically what Card Porn is saying is that the owner's basically ghosted Card Porn now. So they're a bit concerned with that. Like, I'm not sure if maybe the owner just doesn't want to communicate with Card Porn because he's saying, well, BGS is telling me it's real, why are you telling me it's fake, sort of thing. So maybe that's where the owner's coming from. I'm not trying to say anything negative around the owner or imply anything there. That's just something they've raised. So what they suggested was to the owner and to Propstin, send this card to PSA. PSA have two very specific and experienced graders that are really knowledgeable with regard to this card and with this subset of cards. So like, let's send it to them for authentication. The owners rejected that offer, as has Propstin. So then there's some other points here. So it's concerning, right? Like I think from their perspective, they're just saying Card Porn, like, leave us alone. We've got authentication from BGS. What more do you want? Like, so I sort of get that perspective, maybe why they've sort of ghosted Card Porn, but Card Porn going to state a few more facts, and it makes you think like, okay, why aren't these guys following up on this? It's probably a bit negligible on their part to not do that. Because Card Porn even offered to say, okay, if you send it to PSA and they say it's real, we'll pay for it. So you're not going to be out of pocket, right? The fact that they still won't is a bit concerning, but I can sort of understand like where they're coming from. Like I said, like from their mind, they're like, what more do you want me to do? Like, they're saying it's real. But in my personal opinion, if I was in that situation and Card Porn offered that for me, I'd be like, yeah, send it to PSA. If it's real, awesome for me, because it means I get comfort now of my card can be easy for me to sell. We've got 100% proof now that it's real. And if it's fake, you're obviously paying for the fee, and BGS will buy the card back off me anyway for the value, the market value of the card. So I'm not out of pocket, right? So it's obviously logical why you wouldn't go down that path. So there's a few other people here, like Card Hunter Australia. They've asked a few questions, like, how can you be so confident? There was a pinned post here. I don't know why it's not showing up now on my, maybe it's because I'm zoomed in. If I quickly just go back to my face for a second while I close this, let me see if I can see what the pinned post is. It's really annoying because it was pinned, but it's not there anymore. I can't see it. That's really annoying. So I should just go back. I realized I didn't click through the pictures like an idiot. But basically, this is like some of the initial dialogue they had with Propstin. Looking at the card, you can see what it ended for. Some more detail, right? Basically saying you need to contact these people, get through it. It's not on here anymore, which is very strange. Let me pause the video, look into that, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, I'm back. So I don't know why it's not pinned anymore, or maybe it is just not showing up on my Instagram. But basically, this is the guy, 90s Wax. They posted in this story. I can show it to you on the actual page on the post as well. But this guy, who's the one I was telling you about, is the known guy or the expert within the industry. There's a lot of people saying, yeah, listen to this guy. I've seen other stories where saying, yes, this guy knows what he's talking about. You can see their comment there. Like, I think Card Porn is getting a little bit, they're taking offense a little bit too easy on this one. I can see why people are a bit agitated with the way this post was structured. And I'm sorry, this has gone over 8 minutes, so I do apologize. I can see why some people in the hobby have got a bit agitated because the post didn't really do a good job of to explain why it's fake. And it's not Card Porn's responsibility to do that, but I can see why some people, like I said, has taken offense to that. So basically, this guy, oh, piss in the slab, nice. We'll go into here. It's down here somewhere. I was just looking at it. Where is it? I don't know why it's not pinned anymore. So maybe they unpinned it by accident. If I can find it again. I just had it. Let me pause the video again. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm back. Sorry to keep pausing. I just didn't want to waste your time. Basically, it's here. I don't know why it's not pinned. It's a bit sus, to be honest. I'm waiting to see what happens there, to be honest. But there's a few people that are calling on. This guy is big within the hobby. If I go to here, lots of followers. There's lots of insights into cards from the 90s. He basically, or he collects, as his page name suggests. So when people, if he's saying it's fake, that's fake, right? Based on what other people have said, I can't confirm for sure either way, but it's pretty interesting, right? So I can see why, like you can see some posts in here. So let me just fix this. You can see some posts in here around, let me see if I can find, this is probably a good one. Like this person here, you haven't done anything, like you haven't explained why it's fake, blah, blah, blah. So that's sort of where it is, right? I can see people's agitation with this post from Card Porn, but at the same time, like I think they've raised some pretty good questions. And what's interesting is how this basically got through BGS's QC again. So if it is fake, like, and the response to that being fake is to sort of go silent, is really concerning. So if you go back to the HCA video, PSA video, I speak about how I'm an external auditor. When I'm looking at issues, when I'm looking at deficiencies within the process, like breakdown in controls, the one thing that's super important, and I've said this time and time again, so you're probably getting sick of it, is management's response to these identification of issues, right? So it comes down to how they respond, and going silent is not a good way to respond. And they don't necessarily have to respond, but when something as prevalent of this comes up in the hobby news, right? It comes up in the hobby, silence is definitely almost, right? They need to be on the front foot saying, like, no, we've authenticated it. We have the knowledge, blah, 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 and this is why we think it's real. In this instance, they shouldn't have to do that all the time, but in this instance, because it's been flagged so many times and people are blowing up about it, it's something that probably needs to be done. So a few things coming out. Keep an eye out to see what happens next. I'm sure Card Porn will raise it again if anything else happens. The second thing being, let's see what happens when BGS say anything. Also curious why that pinned post is no longer pinned. It's still in their story, obviously, but a bit surprising why they unpinned it. Maybe the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know. So I just thought I'd bring that up. There's a few other things I wanted to talk about, but it's going on 12 minutes now, so I do apologize. There's nobody probably listening. If you still are, thank you. Please like the video because it shows you like my content, so I do appreciate you staying this long, so thank you. But yeah, overall, pretty interesting. Let's find out. I'm on the fence. I think I've gone back and forth again in this video, so I've talked myself in circles, but basically I'm sort of on the fence. Like, I'm not an expert, right? So I can't comment either way. It's just a bit sus that you've got Probstein and BGS being so adamant that they're correct and now selling the card again. The seller, or the owner, I should say, going AWOL with regard to communication with Card Porn when they've been so eager to communicate with them in the past, and then why they didn't take up Card Porn on their offer, re getting it submitted and authenticated with PSA. So pretty interesting. I think some things to come out of it, but yeah, hopefully we don't wake up tomorrow and now SGC has an issue, because that would be pretty interesting, right? It'd be 4 from 4. And then you at CSG, I think it's just gonna be a week of graded card issues. Oh, hopefully not, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, just wanted to give my thoughts. Can you get your thoughts down below? Please comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Peace.